English now?
Yeah. Welcome to Foodcast. Today we have here Chef Anxieta. He came to visit us today. And what's your weapon of choice today?
Weapon of choice is my wine, huh? How is it called? Montepulciano d'Abruzzo.
Oh,
Right?
that's right, Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. Oh, lovely. Well, as I open, tell me a little bit about. Tell us about your story. How you become Chef Anxieta.
How everything started?
Yes.
All right. Actually, everything started like in 2006. Actually, before, because when I was younger, I used to cook with my dad. So my dad was a chef in Brazil as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He studied in the same place as we studied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he went there to Senac.
Yeah. He went there.
Água de São Pedro.
Yeah.
Oh.
Same place. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And
So it's a family trade.
yeah. So I was in school there, doing culinary arts from 2007.
Yeah.
And after this, I felt like I wanted to study more and learn more about actually the ingredients and processes and all these things. So then I started doing the food science
Yes.
in Exalc in Piracicaba.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I did the bachelor. Yeah. For me, it's okay. Then I started there. That's where the name Anxieta came from.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the nickname's from there. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so it's something that's sticking in my head for a long time, you know?
So that you use a stage name.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I didn't know that is a stage name. I thought it was your name.
No, but it's a good name for me, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stick with you.
Yeah.
All right. People need to remember, as Brazilians, we like to give nicknames to people.
Yeah.
And then something in our culture. So always you call people with some is being kind in a sense.
Yeah.
Like my nickname was Dogão, or
right.
in English like Big Dog, in Senac, in the college, because when I went there, first day of classes, one of the teachers came and said, "I want an example of lower gastronomy or like something, like." Street food or something like that. And I said because we call the hot dog stands, I just said the hot dog in the corner, on the street, but we kindly call in Brazil hot dog dogão. I said that dogão on the streets. And then the following day we had a class again with that gentleman teacher, and he came and said, probably you know him, Paulo Ferretti.
Yeah.
I
know him, yeah.
So he came and
I had classes with him as well.
Yeah, so he came and said, "Where's the dogão?" And then I just put my hands up, and that's it. Nobody knows, nobody knew anymore, dogão. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, but my nickname, what happens is every person that enters there, they search for a nickname for you.
Really?
Yeah, so even in Portuguese, it's difficult for me to explain to people because mine is not something that is related to my name, or maybe one day, maybe.
For another day.
Cheers.
Oh, lovely. So you went to do science, culinary science, yes?
It's food science.
Food science, sorry.
So basically, I started studying so each semester, let's say, I had, of course, mathematics, physics, chemistry, biochemistry, all the things related to food. And then we get to study the part where the agronomy, where they go to the crops, let's say soy crops, they do the harvest.
Yes.
So that's when we started our profession there in Brazil.
Oh, nice.
So then you start studying, okay, how do I going to store this soy in the field? Okay, what humidity you need to have until these get to the consumer in the table. So that's the important. So then you have we studied eggs for six months. We studied meat for 6 months.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so how you do dry age, how you do this, or what temperature, what this, and so all the chemistry and biochemistry related to food. So I did this for another 5 years
Wow.
there, and working, always.
Oh yeah. No, yes.
Because this course in Brazil is during the night,
Mm-hmm.
so my classes they were like from Monday to Friday, and from 7 to 10:30, I think. I
Whoa.
don't actually remember. So
Yeah.
weekends always busy working as well
Yeah.
during the week, but it was good.
And then you stay in the countryside doing the food science, working there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what was next? How you end up in the kitchen? Like with that
yeah,
knowledge.
after that, I was always like working in the kitchen, some events, and
Yes.
sometimes I was like, as well as bartending and all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And when I finished the university, I saw many of my friends they were like graduating and they started working in the industry, for Coca-Cola or for example or other type of big industry, and there was I don't think that's for me, and after this I started making beer in this process. So I entered on the beer making business, like brewing, and I started brewing at home.
And when was that? 2010?
2000, no, that I finished in 2012. So I started making beer, I think it was 2013, maybe 2014.
13. So that was a boom in Brazil. Like people, here in Europe was when I was finishing the recession from 2008.
Yeah.
In Brazil was the opposite. It was actually the boom. When it started to finish the boom before the recession hit Brazil, right?
And it was lovely, The first beer, like when you do it at home, fucking 8 hours process, Then they make it and you need ferment, and it take like you care like a baby.
Yeah.
And you drink the first one, say, oh, the beer is horrible, But it's the most like amazing.
You're proud.
Beer. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
And I started making beer, brewing, and then for 6 to 8 months, I had a known guy from the same like fraternity that I lived there.
Yeah.
Brazil, and he bought like a brewery in my hometown, Piracicaba.
Yeah.
And I started. I was working for him with sales for 6 months, but that was not for me.
Yeah.
And no. And then during this period of making beer, I bought the VHW, and then I started making the holes on the side of it. You can put some pictures to show the lads.
Yeah, I will.
That would be nice, And then, as I had like this knowledge with events, so working on the weekends, and I had all this know-how how to do this. And after in the brewing as well, I put all together. So I had this beer truck.
Yeah.
So I was working.
How it works, the beer truck?
So it's an old VHW. I painted all black. And then I had the 4 tops on the driving seat, which in Brazil is on the opposite side. So I was driving in here. Sorry.
Is okay.
And then you can you put your head outside the car and you can see the tops in here.
Yeah,
so I had 4 tops of beer. And it works like that. It was the same boom of the food trucks scene in Brazil.
Yeah.
So I started doing all these events in the weekends.
Yeah.
Going to different places. Let's say like if I was in Dublin on the weekend, I was going to Galway. On the other weekend, I was going to Cork. And then always looking for these food truck events and following them. And together with these, I was doing marriages, proms. So I was,
so you're doing weddings and
yeah. So I would say like, let's say you're gonna get married, hire me.
Yeah.
I'll go to your wedding, 5 hours. I tell you, okay, what type of beer you want? I want IPA. I want to have.
But all your own beer.
No. I have some of mine, but I would get from the breweries from the hometown.
Yes. Oh, fly.
Which?
Yeah, it's
like,
gone.
Yeah, I was doing this for 3 years, 4. Like working on weekends, selling beer. Nice time,
nice.
Good time. But that's when I say it.
You're
gonna ask something.
No, just asking. So after that, build up with the beer and your own business. What made you change?
I always had this urge in myself, like this. I always wanted to get my citizenship, my Italian citizenship.
Yes.
Always. You get a passport always. And when you have a plan, and you're always postponing, always.
Really?
Like something that
yeah.
Oh, okay, one day. Well, when then we start looking, then you have the first like challenge, something that you need to, and
Yeah.
fuck, no, fuck. And during this period, I said, no, I'm gonna do it now. And I put in my head, I'm gonna save the money that I'm getting here from this event. So all the events I was doing, like I was saving, so I can get the money to come to Europe and get a passport.
All right.
So after these 3 years, I had the money. I set up everything. I said, okay, now I'm going. Then I got the airplane.
One ticket, just a one way.
I got like I was planning to come back actually to Brazil.
Really?
Yeah, so I planned like to come here, get my citizenship, and then come back and continue with my business. But what happened? I came here, and I passed through Ireland. So I stayed here 10 days, and then I went to Italy.
Oh, nice. But you came to Ireland as a student or just a tourist?
No, as a tourist. Yeah.
Why Ireland? First, like what's wrong though?
Yeah, I decided to come here, and then I said, okay, I'm gonna stay there 10 days, and then I went to Italy, and I stayed there for. It took a while for me to take it. 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
Oh, not bad.
And after that, I was there one day. When you're getting your citizenship in Italy, and I was like a little small town, like doing nothing for many days, drinking wine, good wine there. And I was talking to the girl she was taking the citizenship as well. And she asked me, "Are you going back to Brazil?" I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Why?" I said, "That's a good question." She asked me, "What do you have there?" I said, "Yeah, okay, now I have my mom, my dog, and I have the van there,
Yeah.
I said, "But how's the business going?" I said, "Yeah, it was like perfect timing when the business like there, the food truck scene would start to fall down."
That was 2015, 16?
2000 and my last one was 17, I think.
17.
So I did one last event. I went to the beach and it was like 40 days selling beer there on Riviera. Yeah, I was there on a huge event. And after that, I did the next one, I think in February. And it was the first one that I did that I had like a loss. I never had a
Really?
loss. So I said, oops. I had
Something's
that feeling
wrong,
that
yes.
something's getting, you see that it's not that crowded anymore.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, maybe. I think that's the case.
It's the moment to
And then
change.
I was
Yeah.
like, all right. Like, I came with my backpack, like, and then
Yeah.
I was in my head, I was coming back, but then I was okay, I'm staying because I knew that here in Ireland, I had all these opportunities to work as a chef, and I had my background. I said, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So I just came back, and on the first.
And never look back.
No, it was like my mom said, "Oh,
But like
it was crazy."
in that same time you're there in Brazil, building up your business, like that's was the same time you start to get in social media, because that's something you're huge in the social media.
Yeah, but no, not you.
No, like for Irish standard, you're really big. You start to build up your social media there, or was more when you start to do your transition to here?
Actually, when I was there, I was using but I had my social media with different eyes, like completely. I tell you, if I had the same eyes that I have today for my social media, I would be then huge.
Yeah.
Because back then I was just like using randomly, like Instagram, for my business. Sometimes posting some pictures, but nothing like professionally, But even though like I got some good tracking back then, because of all these events, like loads of people like they knew me, But all my attentions like I got these eyes on the social media here during the pandemic.
Oh, so all that build up was now and then.
Most of it like came from. So if you see my followers, I have like loads of people from Brazil.
Yeah,
because most of them is because like all these like events and social that I had there, but it was not like something on purpose. It was just
organic.
Yeah, because like if I go to one city on a weekend and everybody's drinking your beer, they're like start following me. I had just like my nickname on the van, and my Instagram there.
Yeah.
But each event, like on the weekend, let's say 3 days, would pass like 2,000 people.
Yeah.
So from this 2000, no 2000, no 20,000. Sorry,
Yeah.
more than
And
So
you get,
for this
get a couple
20,000,
people.
like 100, they go to their
Yeah. That's nice. So when you arrive in Ireland and decide to go back to the roots and cook, how was that experience for you? How it start for you?
It was good. Like it's funny, like when you learn something, it's like riding a bicycle, you know.
Oh yeah.
It was a long time that I was not. I was of course like I was doing barbecue, and every time people say, "Oh, he's a chef," like free dinner. Oh, go to my house, cook for me. So, fuck everybody, only like this, They want, but it's not like professional. It's different when you are like professional in the kitchen and managing people is completely different. But it's funny because I came back to the kitchen. I came here and back in Ireland, and I said, okay, I want to look for a job. But I knew like here's until now it's easy to get a job as a chef if you know what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
And then I think I came back and then I waited like 1 week actually to send my CV and ask for a job.
Really?
I didn't want to work straight away, even though I didn't have the money. I was like. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait and enjoy it at least another week. I was like, I wait 6 months, but it was good.
Yeah.
And I think I asked her for a job like on Thursday night, and the girl just sent me a message on the same night, said, "Okay, can you start on Monday?" Said,
at least they give you the weekend.
Yeah. I said, okay, perfect.
If it was me, I was like, can you come tomorrow?
I said, no way,
So and then you got is the job you still have or really? So the place you start, you still in the same place. So you grew with them.
Yeah, I'm growing there, like definitely. So even though with all my knowledge, like I started there, they're like, when you see somebody, they say, "Oh, I'm a chef."
Yeah.
I know, 10 years experience. I said, okay, chop an onion for me.
Yeah.
You see how they're holding the knife. You know. And then I started there on the company, like as a damn chef, and I said, okay.
Yeah.
Usually people they start to CA or KP most of the times, and they start building up. But of course, of my background and all these things, I knew how to cook.
And your English when you came was same level.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was quite easy to get in.
My English I learned like when I had 16 years old, 17.
All right.
I did like 4 years of English and never used it again.
All right.
But then here start to build up. Took me a few years to understand the Irish, but I'm still struggling, but I'm getting on.
I'll send you to the north.
Yeah.
Yeah, or to Kerry.
Yeah, but it's funny, like, when I now I don't work with too many Irish nowadays.
Yeah.
But like 1 year ago I was like working only with Irish lads, and then
really
and then after like 1 week, then I'm with them, I can understand perfectly.
Whoa.
But if I start now here, it's okay, but then the years they get used again.
Ah, yes. Perfect. It's quite challenging because like now in Ireland it's very difficult to find actually Irish chefs. Yeah. Because the situation, like they prefer to clean the tables for the minimum wage instead of peeling onions and getting the pressure. It's very difficult to find the young generation Irish chefs to come into the kitchen. Nevertheless, like I didn't work with literally Irish people in the kitchen until 2009, 2010. Yeah. Was literally the Irish people who used to work in the kitchen was like just the seniors, because they started in the 90s and they were literally your executive chefs when I came to Ireland. Now, like you start to feel a little bit mix. Depending where you are in the country, you're gonna find a little bit more mix. More further from town, you have more Irish people in the team. More. You're gonna have some in the team. Not say more.
No, we're like we'll have loads.
Yeah, that is very good.
It's fucking lovely.
I think it's very important for their food culture, and then I want to have more of them because they will drive and.
I see young lads is cooking as well there. It's lovely,
But like as you said, like I have 10 years experience. Why do you do a breakfast for 10 years? and they said, whoa. God. Okay, keep doing. And then like you start there cooking. You work in Google, right? You're a sous chef there.
Yeah.
And in that stage, like, what changed for you? What was your vision for
I just
Chef
wanted,
Anxieta?
no, at that time when I started, I just wanted to pay my bills, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna give him 100% here, do my job, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I started, okay, them chef there doing breakfast. That's what I was doing for 6 months, and after jumping to another section inside the kitchen, doing the main kitchen. After that, I jumped to do the vegan section. So I was doing. That's when I started like learning how to do vegan food, because before I didn't know that. I didn't learn this in school. Back then, we didn't talk about vegan, you know.
Oh yeah, vegan's the new trend.
Yeah,
but like, what do you think about vegan food now? Like with that background, like, and as well, you just release a book, right?
Yeah, it's
vegan
ebook, you know, some recipes.
It's a
it's
book.
Not something, just some recipes. Yeah.
So if you guys just follow Chef Anxieta there, I will put the link down here in some stage, and have a look at this lovely book. It's really nice
YouTube,
recipes.
Website, everything. We're building up. We're gonna get there.
As well, like you start your YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's recently released, so I'm just building up as well.
And is a vegan in the YouTube channel, or you're doing a mix?
No, I have a few videos. I have the first one just like teaching like techniques and how to hold a knife, basic stuff. I started so was my first video, and then I had this background from Google, like when I was on this vegan section. So I was there for 9 months, 8 months. No, more or less. So it was like a special part. So we were doing like different dishes, vegan dishes only for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I started like learning how to cook vegan and understanding how to change like ingredients and seeing how. Okay,
not change, adapt.
No, but for me it was like learning, like, because you know I didn't know.
What's the main challenge for you to cook vegan? What's the hardest to substitute?
None. I think it's the preconception that like that we have about food. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I start breaking things. It's like I tell you, like the first day that I did fish one day, I was cooking fish. Nothing about vegan, right? It's just mentality. I'm gonna explain you.
Oh yeah.
And then I was responsible for the fish, and I have the freedom to do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And was the fish with garnish. So I started to put some fruits on the garnish, grilling.
All right.
Some satsuma, some pineapple, and all. Because I remember, like in my childhood, I was going with my father some restaurants, and we used to eat fish with banana.
Oh, yeah,
breaded banana.
Yeah. In Brazil, it's normal.
So
and it's lovely, yeah.
In my head, I started to free like my thoughts of cooking about like, okay, this is right or this is wrong, because the first time I put the fruits there, some chefs they are like, no, this is wrong. You cannot do this. Say, why is wrong? No, you don't serve a fish with fruit. Say, yeah, you do. Maybe not here, but somewhere else. I know we do, and it's completely normal and it's tasty. Yeah. So that's when I started to build up this
breaking the barriers.
Yeah, it's free your thoughts about, okay, why this is wrong, you know. So then I started the vegan after. So no, people need to free, you know, their mind about
talk about
things.
Vegan. What's your favorite vegan dish that you would eat anytime?
You know, when you said the favorite, I just remembered about one recipe I did once. It was a beetroot burger.
Yeah.
And
you make your own patty.
Yeah, so I did like with beetroot, like grated beetroot, quinoa, spices, lemon juice, and then I did this with hummus. I think was avocado. I have this recipe on the ebook.
Yeah.
And you know when you eat that, you cut and the first thing when you're cooking, you're not vegan and you want to cook vegan, you want to fake the things, right? So you look at that, you look at actually patty, you know, and then you wait to say, oh Jesus. And I had this time an Irish lad was living with me, Tom, and I gave to him, Tom, taste this.
Blow his mind.
Yes, fucking unbelievable. Say, if I don't tell you it's vegan, would you know it? He said no, because you know it's something that you don't realize if you do like properly way, like and it's tasty as fuck. You know?
Did you get into?
Fuck because I'm saying too much, you know?
Fuck,
yes,
man. I don't know.
Sometimes.
Yeah, we can. There, have you used black salt? Actually, looks pink. It's like sulfur sulfur
Alright.
in the salt. So if you make like basically get tofu, hard tofu, bleach, and then you add on that, so mimic the flavor of egg.
Really?
Here at home, like Carolina, when she makes the quiche, I swear to God, I fight to make sure nobody will eat the quiche.
Yeah.
Like the first time she made, we become vegan, and like she's a foodie. So she made like we become vegan. We are vegan at home. So she made like a quiche, and I ate. And look, I said, "Oh, we got eggs back home." Yes, and then I ate. It was amazing, amazing, better than any quiche I ever ate. And she started to laugh. And so, what did you put in? And then later she explained, of course, after torture me, like trying to figure out
Yeah,
what was
are
that.
you a chef? Huh? Who's a chef?
Yeah. So it's amazing. That is something I have to say. If I had to do quiche anywhere else,
But what did she use? Tell us the secrets.
tofu,
Oh, tofu. Oh, right.
and then you get hard tofu, you get black salt, garlic powder, onion powder, turmeric. That's it. That's it. And then you just bleed to make like your
Then after you bake it,
yeah, you just get your base, your pastry base vegan. Put that in with your vegetables, grilled vegetables, normally we do at home, and then just bake. You cut and eat until you say stop, and there's no stop. Like for me, I get the food tray and I just keep eating until literally close enough to get sick. Like, oh my God, I need to eat. It's amazing. And like you said about fish, have you ever done vegan fish and chips? That's one I need to make for you.
I have this recipe that is funny. We call tofu. We did once.
With tofu?
Yeah.
No tofu.
No, but we did this. It was funny.
How you made?
Oh, we just did it simply. Once at work, we were like, okay, one of the dishes we wanted to make more fun because sometimes it gets too boring.
Yeah.
So let's do tofu. And it's funny because we just got the tofu. We sliced like some seaweed. We put like to fake it. And we bread it, deep fried, the same thing. And then you eat. You look at that. It's like, you look at fish, And we call it tofu.
Yeah.
And we put on the vegan section. And people knew that's a vegan section, right?
Yeah.
And all the time they were coming there and they're getting that, because people, the vegans, they are okay. But the non-vegans, they were looking at that. They were thinking like, that's actually fish. They were eating like, it's tofu. Oh, no, dude. Do
you like tofu?
I'm not a big fan now, to be honest.
I think it's like sponge, tasteless sponge.
Because I always and I keep on trying different types, and sometimes like I don't know, I didn't find my way of eating. But we used to do like for a salad section, just tofu and season with basil or paprika, whatever, just roasting, dice it. People eat like that crazy. I don't know.
Because the protein you have there. What I notice is you see a real good chef one cooks vegan and cook well. Because majority of the chefs, they get the food and then just throw there and cook. A couple of weeks ago, one of my chefs in one of the restaurants I was running, he made a vegan dish. And I swear to God, I say, yeah, I want to have that. And then when I ate, and just like, was boring, tasteless, not tasteless, but like was boring. Was just like disappointing. And I went to give my feedback, of course, and I said, like, guys, why you didn't roast your butternut squash? You didn't roast separately or grill your vegetables. So you add layers of flavor. Because the way I go, I literally close my eyes and start to feel the layers in each part of the dish. And then if you go using technique, the food just flourish in your mouth. And like the umami, like why you're not putting something to increase your umami in your food, this kind of stuff to salivate a little bit more and work around. They don't think about that.
I'm telling you about like breaking barriers, because people they like most of us, like when we think about vegan, the first thing they think about is like a salad. I have a vegan friend that she's always going to places and she's vegan, like I think like you, and sometimes she get to places and they don't have vegan food.
Yeah.
And she's like, look, you're the chef, right? Look, you have these, you have that. Can you make me a risotto? simple,
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
but
yeah.
vegan, like with butternut squash, some pumpkin seeds, whatever. And she tells me like they bring me like it's like they just throw the things, they don't make it, they,
Excited.
yeah, because
Exciting.
because the chef they don't treat the vegetables like they treat meat.
Yes.
That's why I learned it when I was like, okay, just free. Okay, now what do I do? How
Because
do I bring this flavor?
The
How do I do
meat
this?
already
And then,
have the flavor.
yeah, but you need to roast it, and
Yeah,
you
but you
caramelize it.
yeah, but they don't think about that. They just put the salt and the thing's fine. That's it. Like anything you throw butter or cream, it would taste amazing. Like, don't get me wrong. You put butter or cream, is amazing.
Yeah, true.
But like, try to do that without the butter and cream. And then you see, like at home, like everyone here at home, a part of me, they are lactose intolerant. So for me, in the past 13, 14 years, I had to reinvent myself with lactose and readapt. And for me, it was fine, easy. When we become vegan, because that I ask, what you miss was the most difficult part for me when we took the egg out of the house. I was close to jump out of the window, but it's just like one store building here, like a house. I would just break my ankle. But like, swear to God, man, like eggs, eggs, eggs is very difficult, and then adapt for me was very challenging for baking.
But then you just took out the eggs because you wanted to become like 100% vegan.
No,
for
no. For us, we had animal protein just 3 or 4 times a week. And then and then it was in 2013, I had loads of guests coming over. It was like fine dine hospitality. And 80% of our guests were from Middle East or Asia. And a lot of them were vegetarian. And since majority of them were Muslims as well, so they couldn't have a hand. So it was very difficult to source cheeses. And a good portion of them goes literally vegan. And I start to research. And I start to research. My wife is the brain of the house. It's like the cartoon, Pink and Brain. I'm Pink, she's the brain. I keep thinking like I'm Pink, like, and laughing every night and telling her like, what we're gonna do tonight? The same thing you do every night.
Yeah.
Try to conquer the world. And then she started to go deep. Start research, looking videos, books, reading. She like, if you go downstairs and start to see the bookshelf, like I don't have where to put books anymore. I start to see people passing in front of the house. Yeah, get a book, and throwing books at the people. And she literally, she's a bookworm. And when she started to go deep, and I start to observe that knowledge as well. And then like we went for holidays for Christmas to Poland for 2 weeks. And then we just, okay, let's close the shop, the house for 2 weeks. Let's clean the fridge. Everything was clean. And I said, okay, when we come back, I want to go back to Japanese style diet, whereas the protein is just a little in the plate. And when we come back, she said, you know what? We go no animal protein. We just have eggs. After 2 weeks, one of the kids came and said, what eggs, where eggs come from? Chick. What actually is that? Oh, it's baby chicks. Oh no! And then they couldn't see eggs, and then we took the egg out of our diet. For me, it was literally like breakfast. I need to like we have that every weekend. We have our normal breakfast Monday to Friday for the kids, and then weekends we do something special. And once normally Carolina makes, and then one I make. And for me, like always would have some eggs, like to make your French toast, or you make your pancakes, whatever, name it. And oh man, for
what
me,
do I do now?
yes, it was like, okay, all my recipes, bing, and now fork. What am I gonna do? So for me, it was very challenging the eggs in that sense.
But you're telling me that I have one thing in
Do you bake?
Not much. I don't cook much at home, like for fun or.
No, even for work.
No, barely. Yeah, actually, like when they just need something. Okay, what do I do now? Okay, give me the recipe, please. I need to remember this.
Chef Google, yeah.
Yeah, because you don't do this very often, so I don't have this in my head. But one of my challenges, like sometimes I feel like people, they they want to become vegan. Like, okay, I'm not vegan, and they don't eat anymore. Like, no, but I cannot see meat anymore. You know, in my head, like, inside my head, like, what I'm trying to do is like, see everything as a balance, you know,
Yeah.
and taking this. Oh no, you need to be as well vegan. No, if you're happy being vegan, be happy.
Be
you know?
vegan, yeah.
If I'm happy, like, okay, half vegan or sometimes, or no, I want to eat meat, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, I have this friend that she's like, sometimes she's vegan, but if she goes to a place that she doesn't have the food, she's gonna eat, you know, and for her it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, so that's to people be more light about these things, and you know.
Yeah, I think sometimes get a lot of, I put it like a religion.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
people get like very passionate about, and then you come to
I
vegans.
understand it's good, you know, when you learn it. It's okay, yeah, but just you know.
Yeah, it's low, you know, cool the jets. The way I see it is like that. When the vegans, like if you're balanced, you can eat both, but normally it's like that. You go to a meat eater and say, "Here, I have some cauliflower wings for you,"
Oh,
and
yeah.
they will just go ballistic. It's the same. That's the feeling the vegan has when you offer actually chicken wings. They feel offended. But as I said before, my focus cooking vegan food for others is not actually force them to become vegan. Is to have choices. Like as I said, the quiche. If they eat the quiche Carolina makes, or now I make, like, is amazing, and people say, "Wow, I want to have that quiche." My cousin, she don't eat vegan, but when she comes over, she respect. And there are those things like the quiche, or the
And
risotto.
she starts to learn as well, like,
Yeah,
and it tastes different food.
yeah, and then they come over and say, "Ooh, let's try that." And I remember last time we went to her place, we went to become like kind of family tradition. You know, Eurovision.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
last
funny for me actually.
yeah. last year we went to watch Eurovision in their place, right? So they got a massive TV, you know, like a 90 inches, something like that, whatever it is. It's like literally is the size
Cinema. Yeah.
is bigger than this wall here, and like if I stand behind the TV, just you see that. Yeah. Anyway, they got that massive TV, and then we said, okay, let's have some house party, and it was got in the same time of the Eurovision. We were there, and we ordered some pizza from Domino's, and they have the vegan pizzas, and had like vegan pepperoni pizza, and we were having, and like my cousin's boyfriend, he just trying, whoa, like now when we go in their place, he ordered that for himself, you know, because he enjoyed. And then I look at that, fair play, is a good food option for you. Is healthier, but like, you know what I mean, is just the option you have to build up to people. So you decide to get your book. You wrote vegan because of that, or
Yeah,
when
because
you got why?
Actually, what happened is, like, after working 1 month, 2 months, only cooking vegan, and like, you know, researching recipes, learning new
Yes.
techniques, learning new ingredients. You know, like you said, like, okay, what do I do? I don't have eggs. What do I use instead of eggs to get the
Yes.
same, you know,
Taste profile.
taste? How do I do to get that?
Yeah.
After learning this, I had a bunch of recipes. So I have like 3 months of, okay, I can come to work every day, do my orders, and I have the vegans, and I'm doing all these recipes. I have a rotation of recipes. Okay. And people after in work, they start asking me, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? Oh, can you give me that recipe? I'll say, okay. I just kept that in my head, you know, it was nothing I was planning. Then pandemic came, boom, corona, that happened, all right. And I was at home and working from home and doing all this work. I start to look more for the social media again and how important this is.
Why
and
you went to social media?
I actually started like giving more attention to this about the professionalism and how like I understood that, like, how important this is for everybody nowadays in the business and everything. So I started seeing this as a business.
not as a
Not
way
as
to
a
just
fun making. I started to look at this as a way of making a living and treating the social media like that.
Are you making a living from social media now?
Not yet, but I will.
Yeah, that's your focus.
Yeah, I have
Alright.
posted thinking about this, and I started thinking about it. I said, okay, I need to have a website. I need to have some content. I have to build up. I have to have something,
Yeah.
right? So I said, okay, I wanna make money. How do I make money? I need to sell something.
Yeah.
If you have a restaurant, what do you sell? Food for people.
Yes.
But if you have a website, what do you sell to people?
Yeah.
I said, okay, I have my knowledge. Okay, my knowledge.
How is my knowledge?
Yeah, I studied like 2 years plus 5, 7 years. Studying, working 10 years. Okay. Now, what do I know? What's fresher in my head that I have here that is working? Okay, vegan. Okay, I'm gonna get all the recipes that I did. I'm gonna put it on an ebook. I'm gonna organize nice photos, nice, all the ingredients, instructions that you have, everything there, easy for you to cook. If you want to become a vegan, you get the ebook, boom, you can start. I have 50 recipes: breakfast, lunch, dinner, desserts.
Oh, there's a lot of recipes.
Even pavlova. When I did that, I couldn't believe it. I said, "What the hell? How do you do?" I did it.
How you made it?
With chickpea water.
Oh yeah.
It works. When I was doing that, nah, this is not gonna work.
You need to be fancy with the name, yeah.
Yeah.
Wakafaba.
Wakafaba. I said, what is chickpeas? And I was cooking. I said, no. It didn't work. So that's where it came, the idea. So I started to build up during the pandemic. So I did the ebook, after website.
Yeah.
All my time, like doing everything.
And then the YouTube channel, when that come on board, was the next stage? You think it's natural to move to YouTube after Instagram?
Funny, I think it's happened like to you or all the chefs that are cooking,
Yeah.
You always have a friend that's telling you, you need to go on YouTube. You need to go on YouTube. Why don't you go on YouTube? I see, I have a friend that's millionaire. Go to YouTube. I said,
Yeah.
I had that in my head always. But like I said, like with my passport, like it took me a while to break this barrier and actually started.
I think the hardest is the first. For you was the first, or like to get the ideas? Like for me, I didn't know. I remember the first YouTube video I did. It's not the first one I released, but it was the first one I record. I remember a friend of mine came. He said, "What are you gonna have for dinner today?" I said, "Man, it's late. I'm going home." It was in the middle of the pandemic, and I was still working. So probably I would just get like some noodles, like the ready-made, the little 3 minutes.
Yeah.
He said, record that. I said, okay. But the way I normally do, and then I just put there the noodles, literally in 5 minutes I record. Boil my egg, put the noodles, make a quick furikake, and some scallions I have, whatever I had in the fridge. Because I didn't even prepare myself. Record, the way I record was literally with my hand holding the phone, putting the phone in front of me, putting the things, got a couple of pictures. In less than 5 minutes, I have the video done. And that was my first video. And after that, I learned. Editing for me was a bitch. It was hard. But after that, I have that. I said, whoa, I can do it. And then the pandemic was hitting harder. I had a little bit more time because I didn't have to work my 50, 60 hours a week. I was actually doing like a normal people hours.
Yeah.
So I was doing my 40 hours a week, something like that, 40 odd. And then I look and say, what do I do if my other 20 hours I'm working? And then I started to do the videos. And for me, the most difficult was the first one. And after that, I said, anyone can do it. But it's difficult.
Yeah, I tell you, I was during the pandemic only like working with Instagram and then making videos, reels, all this,
Yeah.
And I was having fun with this, and I had time at home. But actually, the first time I was recording to YouTube, and I got a camera in front of me like that, I was feeling ashamed. I needed to kick everybody out of the house, alone in there, and talking to a camera. I was feeling like, fucking hell, what the hell I'm doing? Talk to a camera.
You feel like a lunatic, no?
Crazy.
Yes.
This is weird, and then really weird, and then I was like, and I'm telling you, like in university, I used to talk like for like 5,000 people in front of me, like, and it was fine. If you put me to speak English, which is like not natural for me, in front of 1,000 people now, you explain something, okay, I can read and I'll go. It's easier for me.
It's tangible. You can see it.
Than talking with a camera inside my house, in my kitchen, alone. I don't know why. After a while, but now I'm really more comfortable. You know, it took me time to learn this, understand it. Okay, you know.
I think that's the first step. Like I remember when I start to record, I go around the house and say, "Quiet." It's more like I want to have a sign in every single room, like quiet, recording.
Recording, yeah. I need to get a red light. Bing, when it's on.
Yeah. And then like the kids used to go, like if you see the videos in Portuguese that I made, and you see the kids walk in the kitchen. I start to put that as a funny moment. And the best videos I got is when the kids get in the kitchen, because I have a good feedback. I remember recording and I'm saying, "Oh, now is the best part. We need, in Portuguese, say for tasting, provar. A melhor parte é provar. You know, the best part is tasting." And then the kids just hearing that and just walk in the kitchen, you know, like, yeah, food. Can I try it?
Natural, you know. I think the challenge is this, like to become natural in front of camera. Then that's when everybody gets to know, okay, that's really you, and that's the true you, and then that's it. You know?
You do vlogging.
What do you mean
vlogging? It's like blog but video blog. Like
let's say like talking about my day.
Yeah, you're walking on the street and just hi people, look, I'm here.
That's how.
How you feel with that?
That's how I started. Like, because I didn't start like on YouTube. I started on Instagram, and then I had in my head, okay, I need to do this in English because I'm living here in Ireland, and
yes,
I wanna reach a broader audience. And then if I speak English, I know that I can reach much more people than if I'm speaking Portuguese. So the way the whole started in my head to say, okay, I need to record at least 10 stories on my Instagram every day. So
whoa.
And
that's a lot.
That's what I did on my Instagram during the pandemic. Nowadays I post more pictures, or I'm not like talking anymore too much in the camera. But that was my way of training myself on speaking English to the camera. So I was like, at least, and I was like I think vlogging. So I was like, okay, now I'm going to the gym and blah blah blah, you know, showing my training, all these things. Oh, now I'm come back in home, and what do you guys think about this? I'm thinking about cooking that or this, you know, showing this. So that's what I did during the pandemic. So I think that kind of prepared me and trained me to talk to the camera in English.
Like I didn't have that preparation, I have to say. Like now, the past couple of weeks,
I pushed myself. It wasn't easy.
It's not natural.
No, I needed to.
I remember to a friend of mine, they're TV chefs in Brazil, Dalton and Guga. I hope you guys are listening to that. Yeah, you should. I remember
it's the minimum we're expecting you.
Oh yeah, that's what I expect from a friend. Probably he would be now calling me now.
Yeah.
Anyway, I remember they came to Ireland a couple of years ago for the St. Patrick's Day, and I took them to North Ireland, and we did like a trip. And I just look at them, both of them just walking around, and I said, man, they look like two lunatics. But that was like the mid of 2010, 12, or 2014, 12, somewhere there. And, or no. Yeah, somewhere, whatever.
It's not like nowadays.
So they have like 500,000 people or 1 million people, whatever, follow them. Anyway, they were there, and then I said, man, what the fork is that? And it's so unnatural for me. And then when I started to do a couple of weeks ago, I still feel like that. And like on the street, I feel shame.
Yeah.
I feel shame. I'm there and say, look around. Okay, nobody's around. Yeah.
I did the same. I was like, okay, my way to the gym was like 500 meters, you know. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna start now. Is anybody in here? No. Okay. And then one guy turns over. Fuck. Jump. No, you know.
It's so weird.
Yeah, but it takes a while, and after that, you're just recording. That's it.
And like now, you're comfortable with that.
In the streets, not yet.
No.
No. Really, not yet. No.
Like today, I was going to the gym, yeah, and I was walking to the gym. I left the car to wash, yeah. And it's about like 300 meters from the car wash to the gym, and I want to record, but every 100 meters it start to show up people, and I said nope, nope, nope,
Yeah, it's
nope.
difficult.
It's difficult. Like I don't know why. It's
But
kind
I-
of shameful.
Oh,
That's the way I feel. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, I don't know. The feeling of people, I don't know. It's just stupid, you know. Just do whatever you want to do if you think
Yeah.
you really know. But if sometimes in my head is like thinking, oh, okay, people are judging me, or because you're talking to a camera, but it doesn't matter because now we're talking to a camera, we're talking with you, but we have somebody there that actually they want to listen, so that's the important.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter. So if you put that in your head and you start doing and pushing, it's like one day I like to see people playing, and on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was watching The Voice thing, something like that, and they have this guy Alejandro. He won the show there, and what's his name as star? I don't remember. Anyway.
Yeah.
And he was self-taught on playing and singing.
Yeah.
And they asking him, how do you do that? And he said, okay, I was pushing myself every day. I was ashamed of playing in front of people, so I pushed myself to go into the streets and play and sing. So that's what we were doing. You're just pushing yourself to do that because the results are going to be bigger than like these little things that it's like changing from how vegan. Oh no, vegan, just eat it, and then take this barrier off your head and then go for it.
You know what I start to think, like in the beginning when I start to do YouTube videos, I want to put a mask in the camera. At least I know I'm talking to somebody. You don't see you. I know there's the cameras there, and that's it. Like I don't know actually who is there. Hi.
Yeah.
But like in the end of the day, if you see a face, at least you humanize a little bit more. You talk in a better way. Like the way we have the interviews here, I barely look at the camera, and I feel a little bit like, oh God, hi. Like somebody's looking at me. I don't know who is that person. Like now with your stage in your career and you building up, like you got like couple of thousand, 20, 30, how many thousand people
around
following?
20 on Instagram. YouTube is just beginning.
Yeah, YouTube you begin, but like that they start to build. How do you feel to reach those people? Like the way I see the most of the time, that's something I did always in the social media. For me, it's very unnatural to go social media. I'm quite reserved person. Is like most kind of like John Rogan, like post and ghost. I don't like to read comments or anything because people can be mean sometimes, like just being trolls in the internet and just like saying shite. And then I really dislike that. And then I look at that just mentally is terrible. That's the way I feel. Do you read your comments?
Yeah, I do. But most of my comments, like people are like really being nice,
supportive.
Yeah, So
you do Twitter?
No, this I didn't start it. I don't know how to do this.
Yeah, I start to play with
I
Twitter.
Haven't,
it's difficult.
But I follow more. I don't like. It's not something I'm.
Too much trolls there. I have to say, I put a few comments and people just go hard on you. And I said, okay, Twitter.
I like to do my content today, and I realized I started TikTok when I was like doing as well the Instagram, and I was posting the same videos, and then I was like doing more like educating videos. Okay, how to do this recipe in my head. And one day I was at home. And this guy, my friend, I think Michelle, sent me one video of guys like they're chopping, chefs.
Yeah.
Following the music, very fast. I said, okay, I'm gonna do that.
It's hard.
Yeah, put the mask, close eyes, do that. 10-second video.
You're in the hospital. Oh, my finger.
This, but I was like, okay, you sent me, let's do this, like, fucking hell, I'm gonna do this. I got like almost 1 million. And was
really
viewers and on TikTok, and when I was getting like 200 to 1,000, like, and then I was like, okay, I need to do stupid things, and then that
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of shocked me. Say, okay, do I want to do that or not? You know,
yeah,
because some of my friends said, hey, you need to take out your shirt and cook. Say, I don't think I want to be that guy. No, that's not me. And then I thought, okay, I think that's when I start to flip to
yeah, yeah.
YouTube. I said, okay, where's the platform? Which platform can I actually be me and do what I want to do?
Yeah,
So
because
teach
TikTok
people.
is very sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, it's
TikTok
like,
is
boom.
is quick and easy to digest.
You need to do something entertaining, fast, and because people were like, "Oh no, he's faking," and I wasn't faking. I actually trained,
Yeah.
and train with the knife. Say, okay, 1, 2, 3, let's go, boom,
For me, TikTok is kind of a hit and miss at the moment.
Yeah.
I have videos, like I got one, every month I get a box from Japan. And then that box, I always do, the past 2 months I've been doing like a
What do you mean box
unboxing.
from Japan?
I'll call it like Tokyo treats.
Okay.
So the box come like full of treats from Japan.
All right.
And it come like weird drinks, come like
really? That's nice.
Kit Kat tastes coffee, and another one Kit Kat tastes like matcha. Like every month comes something different. And then like last month was a hit. Got like, okay, for my standards, I'm not you, yeah. My standards, I got like 3,500 people looking. And then I just got it, and I put a post there. I didn't care. And then suddenly I start to look, and then just like doom, 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 and going up. And say, oh my God. And like my thing on TikTok at the moment, like I didn't find my ground yet of what I need to be posting and what my crowd wants to see
It's something that you need to be like on the trends.
No,
You need to be living on this, poof, poof.
no, but for me,
Yeah,
it's kind of a
crazy.
hit and miss. If I keep posting, like this month, I post the taco treats, got like over 200 views. And I said, what happened? Is the song was the same?
Everything.
I don't know.
You need to keep on, then you understand how it works.
Like for me at the moment, what's my heat? What I notice is when I post jokes about wives, and then go after my wife. My wife is doing something, she don't have much reaction, so I think that could have a better views.
Yeah.
I need to tell her that, but like she don't fake. She would not do it. She don't care. she don't care about social media whatsoever. So I go around and then just recording, play the thing, start to say some bullshit. Like there's one of them was a good hit, was a very thick American accent. Yeah, why I go out for a hamburger if I have a steak at home? And she just turned, look at me. She was cleaning the dishes in the night and say, yeah, but what do you do if your steak your steak has attitude? And she just looked at me and started to say, like, fuck off, whatever. So that got a view. But that's my heat at the moment, is when I mess with my wife.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I don't know yet. Like, TikTok is very difficult for me to understand.
I'm there, but I don't expect much. Like, I don't think that's that. I don't know. For me, doing this. Sometimes I'm gonna put out these to test again, chopping and see. But I'm more like I want to like really like pass my knowledge to people and see. Okay, this is what I know. That's what I got into YouTube, because there I can talk to people and show them and really like. Explain.
And when he posts, it's there forever.
Yeah, like, so in my head, like, okay, I want to do a recipe like step by step, and there I read all the comments. If anybody asks me, oh, look, I don't understand these, like I tried with that, like I'm gonna read, I'm gonna talk, because I think that's the most important for me. So exchange of knowledge. If somebody says, oh no, I do different way, I'm gonna try and maybe make a new video. I don't know.
And what do you envision yourself in the next couple of years? Where you want to be in 5 years' time? Do you have that?
I don't think so.
Or it's just me, the way I'm thinking always like that. In 5 years' time, 10 years' time, that's me, Ricardo.
I see myself like with loads of video and like reaching many people and be able to like
live from that.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it's completely possible, People don't see that, but it's possible. I saw that already many times with different people. So the thing is, as I said before about the passport, when you start something and then you have the first barrier and then you stop, you just need to keep on pushing. That's it with everything.
Like
everything.
like now,
Consistency is the key, you know.
you just release your first book. I know it's a book, but like the book,
Yeah, yeah.
you put the effort there, you put your
Yeah.
knowledge in it. It's just a matter of printing and say, look, I have a book,
Yeah.
and the book. That's the way I see. Are you having any plans to have a new book in the next?
Yeah,
year?
I haven't organized it, but like, first of all, I wanna like I have this one for the vegan recipes.
When you released that book recently, right?
Yeah, but like I started like I did the ebook, and after I started building the website,
Yeah.
and then I put all together. And
All right. So the book was before
and then I
the
said, okay, to
website.
myself, okay, I need to have a website, so I need to have a platform, so I'll be able to sell it. So I have my own platform, like my website, telling about a little bit of my story, and I have the ebook there, all the links to everything. And from there, I started doing the videos. I said, okay, what am I gonna do? I wanna do the video. So what I'm doing now is videos of all the recipes.
So you're getting the recipes in the videos.
Yeah. So all my recipes that are on the ebook, I'm doing there on video now. So everybody, if they get the ebook and they say, okay, I have here I have here ingredients, method, but I want to see how it's the final result, you're gonna get the video.
When I started to do my videos in the YouTube, I used to put the quantities, and afterwards I start to think why I'm putting the quantities. Should I just put the ingredients, because afterwards you can create the ebook, and then you sell that. But like that's the moment I understand that my Portuguese is very poor now. There are a few words I don't remember whatsoever. I had to even update my CV now. My Portuguese is intermediate now.
Shite,
No, the worst part it is because sometimes I need to write in Portuguese or say something in Portuguese and they don't have a clue. I had a meeting this week, and I was in a meeting and I had to use English words because I don't remember Portuguese. It was in Portuguese meeting, and people just look at me and say, Ricardo, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know that word in English. I say, yeah, but I don't know in Portuguese. And I explain what I was feeling and what I want to say.
People in Brazil, they think you're like, being like, yeah. But they don't understand, like, you really can't, your mind, it tricks you,
Oh, no, I'm just dumb.
Yeah, okay, good.
Like
better that way.
No, my brain and languages, I can say that for languages, I'm dumb. Like my wife, she understands like Portuguese better than I do. And she don't speak Portuguese, yeah? Like, I used to speak Italian and Spanish. But as we say in English, if you don't use, you lose, yeah?
Yeah.
And, like, I have friends, they speak Spanish or Italian. Like, Jeremy was here a couple of weeks ago, and I was interviewing him. But before the interview, like, sometimes he speaks Spanish with me, and I understand everything. But to talk back, and then, like, I was mixing...
Where's he from?
He's Venezuelan.
Right.
I was mixing Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian in the same sentence. And for me, I didn't understand. Like, when I came to Ireland, and I went to change my hire in Italian embassy, for you don't understand what would be that, is basically you just change your residency in Italian embassy to say, look, I live here now. I could walk in the embassy and have a full conversation in Italian. And a couple of years back, I went to renew my passport. I spoke, like when you get in the embassy, the carabinieri, the police guy who will be just escort you in. And I had a chat with him, like about the weather, whatever it was. And I got there in the cashier, or whatever, the lady there, and she started to speak with me fully Italian. I understand everything. And my brain stopped. And I just went in Italian and said, look, capisco cosa che tu parla, ma io non parlo italiano. No, I understand what you say, but I don't speak Italian. He looked at me.
How do you answer me like so perfectly in
Italian? Yeah. And then she keep saying in Italian and then answer in English afterwards. And then she looked at a lady behind her. I said, this guy is speaking Italian with me and he's taking a piss. And then she got angry, really angry, and then say, how you speaking English with me? You're Italian, you should speak in because I don't know if you know, if you're born in São Paulo, in Brazil, there's a place in Italy who say is exactly the same abbreviation, SP. But if you don't see you're born in Brazil, they think you're Italian. She got really pissed. That day, after that day, always when I go there, I don't speak Italian whatsoever. I got afraid because somebody will get mad at me.
Yeah, they guess first, yeah.
And then since then, my Italian started to go down, my Spanish started to go down. Now when I need to speak Spanish or Italian, I mix with Portuguese, Italian, and Spanish. So yeah, no, thank you. So that's me and languages. So yeah, for language numbers, I'm very good. I'm systematic. Anything about kitchen, like literally, you start to talk about like food and how they work, it's like rock science. Sometimes I start to talk, and then I remember going to meetings with with clients and start to present dishes and explain the layers of flavors, and then they start to yeah, like there's one of the desserts I love to make is fizzy jelly, but when you taste, it's like if you're eating 7-Up. So you basically get lime jelly. You infuse in caraway seeds because caraway seeds will give that like a freshness, like lemon freshness, and then you set that forever 889 mLs. You put 15 grams of maltodextrin, 15 grams of agar-agar, 10 grams of elastic gelatin.
I'm just trusting you because
no,
if you change the measurement.
no, I learned that because the books from El Bulli, I'll tell you.
Right,
you know
right.
El Bulli. Do not match. So that was my way. I learned, and then that got in my brain because I fucked up so many times.
Yeah.
And then if you do that way, and then just before service, you put a little bit of poppy candy on top. The one that start to popping in your mouth, and when you eat that cube, you think you're eating 7-Up because you feel that fizziness and the flavor is just perfect. And I was trying to explain to the like people just doing tasting and saying and
they're like nice cube, yeah.
When they start to say that and say they taste, they said, wow, what's that? And they start to explain the way I explained to you. I think after I said the first 15 grams, I got lost. They got lost there, and then they were all like PhDs around the table. It was alumni meeting,
all right,
for the tasting, and all doctors. And they were looking like if I had like 3 heads. And I said, okay. So that moment I noticed when I start to talk about anything about food, I need to be very careful because I can lose people and they think I'm talking about like a rock science.
yeah.
So like the flavors as well, like when I start to say the umami, I'm allergic to chilies. So if
chili?
If I eat, I would not breathe. So normally when but I still cooking and I still putting chilies in my food. And I can
cook?
Yes, I can do anything. It's just like if I eat, I try. I just make sure I have oil close to me. People normally say, drink water or milk. No, it's the worst thing you can do. Milk will just relieve the pain in your stomach, but a little bit in your mouth. But what happens is what absorb the chili from your mouth is oil, because oil will literally grab the how they call.
But you taste it or okay, give me oil and then you taste
Oh no
it.
no! I taste. If I start to feel
oil.
like I start to not breathe, I'll just get oil, whatever, olive oil, and just drink oil, and then we just relieve a little bit. But anyway, nevertheless, when I'm cooking with chilies, like majority of the people, they will cook vegan. They make spices fork, and then when you eat, you can't feel anything a part of the spices. But when I cook, I try to make sure each layer of the food, people don't understand that. It's the layers in your palate. First, what are you going to feel? The saltiness. After that, you start to feel the umami and follow. I always like the feel in the end here, the chili in the back. If you feel the chili in the front, kill all the flavors after. So it's like building up the flavor inside your mouth.
When you eat and after feels like, okay, now I'm feeling the chili. Okay, it's coming. Yeah, then you say,
Yes.
Oh, right, that's the chili.
It's the same with this wine. Like if you air the wine, you smell berries, fruitiness.
Continue.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm gonna believe you. I'm very bad in this.
Now, if you put in your mouth the wine, just don't swallow. Move it to the front here. and to the back and swallow. Now you feel in your mouth, all the wine went inside your mouth. Slowly first you feel like chocolate-ish with berries, like cherry, going in. Very gentle. And then after a couple of seconds, probably around now, you start to feel umami in the sides of your cheek. A little. You start to salivate a little in your sides.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're not like, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. That's the way I go. So normally when I design menus or engineer menus, because I love to say that, like people, engineer menus. I'm just a chef. Yeah. So when I do that, I explain a story behind and how to taste, how we enjoy better that food, and like when you need to eat and how you eat. That's the way I like to go. But
I did,
it's nice.
When I was doing the brewing, I did beer sommelier there in Brazil.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was nice because we're tasting food with beer. That was different. That was fun.
How was that? Like, do you think to go back to beer, or because that's something you spend a good part of your career, right?
Yeah, it's something that I really like doing. Like
Okay, I think you need to do a book
about beer and food.
How to make beer? Yes.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's great.
Yeah.
And like they're
in 2 years, I think I'm gonna
look,
giving you a date.
Probably I can find a bathtub nobody's using to make beer. Where they got that? I think it was in UK. They got a small brewery. The guys using a bathtub. Lovely. Oh my god, man!
When you learn it, like, and you understand the process, it's like cooking. It's like become part of you. And then you start playing with ingredients, and then I want to get this flavor in that. How do I do this? He's lovely. Nice.
I got a friend of mine, and her.
I know, but I love fermentation. So the thing is, like, when I started fermenting things in the kitchen, I like to see the bubbling. Like when I make a bread and.
What's your favorite fermented food?
I don't think I have one. Beer counts as food, no?
No, food, not beer, because I know beer here good.
No, I don't have one. I like the process. I like to see things alive. That's the thing. I like when I see like was doing a sauerkraut. I was like, oh.
Do you make your kimchi?
At home,
no.
No. I barely cook at home.
No, even for work.
Yeah, like I remember when I started like doing some fermentation in the kitchen. And we started doing this because I read the Noma booking, and they were like talking about fermentation, and I will start learning. Okay, how do I use the salt to do this and that, and then I started using the fermentation to reduce the waste in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I was getting like the melon skin one. I did do this one. Sorry. I got like honeydew melon, the skin. I said, okay, I want to try to ferment this, and I put with some raspberries, and I left that ferment, and then we served as a side for the salad station, and people were eating like crazy.
How you fermented the melon skin?
I just sliced it like very thin. Measured the salt. I think I did like 1.5%, or yeah. I was always using 1.5 to 2. Depending on the amount of like humidity, that if it was like cucumber or something like that has more water, I was using more salt just to be safe. And this one, I just put it there. I measured the weight, like as you always do. How much water I'm gonna put? Measure the weight. Measure the salt. Oh, say, what else do I have in the fridge? Okay, raspberries. Oh man, that's gonna be good. Huge batch. People are eating.
Do you pickle?
Yeah, I like it.
You like pickling? Well, what kind of pickle you normally do? Any or?
I don't have anything special. People say, "Oh, what pickle you do?" I say, "Okay."
Cold infusion or normally hot infusion?
You know what? Once I was having this conversation in the kitchen. People were like, "The cold, hot." I said, "Look, my way of doing it. That's why I like it. I like it to bring it to boil, and put on the food." Whatever it is, if it's
and let rest there. So
yeah, but I like them after cool down. At least to try to keep the color or a little bit of the crunchiness. But I like the heat in the process.
More or less like
I don't like it only cold. I don't.
It's more or less like Sonomono.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just skip.
I like it.
Yeah. And what kind of vinegar you like the best for pickling? rice, malt,
I can't tell you. I don't have the knowledge to
wine.
say to. I don't have the. If you do like a vinegar tasting and different picklings, it's like when people ask me, "What type of onions do you prefer?" I said, "Look, I'm very bad at tasting. You know, it's like
Don't say that.
You know when I learned that, when I was doing the beer sommelier course, right?
Yeah.
And then on the first day, we did a beer tasting.
Yeah.
With all the beers from Brazil there. You know, like when
Local
you have,
beers.
Yeah, when you have like Brahma in Scotland, it's like when you're having here, I don't know.
Yeah, you have your.
If you're tasting, let's say, Heineken and Budweiser, two like really known brands, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you see them, you actually okay. If you're tasting them, if you see in a can of Budweiser and a can of Heineken,
Yeah.
you say, okay, I know the difference. I'm tasting. Oh, I know the difference. Let's get more close beers, right? Budweiser and Coors. That's a good one.
Oh my god.
Because no. That's what I'm
Yeah,
telling
yeah.
Because with Heineken, maybe you're gonna taste different because the taste is different.
Heineken, I would say, just to start, get a Heineken from the islands, like Ireland or UK, and try Heineken from continental Europe.
It's different.
Man, yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing because you know.
Yeah, it's like second tier and first tier.
Yeah.
You
But
get it in Ireland, it's like, oh, no, thank you.
But that's the thing because all this behind you know already, you know. And the thing is, if you put the here, 50 glasses. That's what we did, you know. So imagine people, you know, when people are friend, oh, you always have that friend. No, I like Budweiser more than Coors, for example. No, I always, yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody has that, you know. No, this is much better. This is much better.
And then you
But
put the
when you
blind
put
taste.
it blank, completely blank, you know, people serving you on a glass and then you don't know, you smell it, they're like, okay, what the hell is this?
You get your blind taste, it's very difficult to
That's
find, yeah?
when, you know, you have all, that's what we have on
That's
of
not...
this on university where we're learning how to, you know, you give people samples. I don't remember the name of the subject, but you give the people samples and then they need to try it and say to you, you know, like I give to you, like wine, you say, how do you have this knowledge of berries?
Yeah,
You train yourself.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And the thing is, when it's blank, you don't know. So when you say, oh, what wine, what vinegar you prefer, I need to do a tasting because I'm that critic to relation to this. Do a tasting and okay, let's study this because I don't have this knowledge, you know. Because most of the people, I'm pretty sure they don't have this knowledge.
Oh no! Like I will tell you something.
You know, they don't know the difference.
I tell people,
100% true.
if you
because
have
of this beer tasting.
yes,
I learned to say, okay, I don't know nothing.
I call chefs like you define chefs by knives. I'm the kind of chef I would describe myself as the chef, Swiss knife chef. I can do a little bit of everything. Because when I start to grow as a chef, I start to notice like the idols I had, the good chefs I always saw it, and the ones I work with, is their knowledge. They go from pastry to bakery to savory, everywhere. They know everything. And for me, when I came to Europe, it was for that. Was to learn more. And I want to know more. And like when because that I said, in 5 years, where do you see yourself? My 10 first years after I finished college, I left the university and I said, for 10 years, I work for anyone. I don't care. I will not run a kitchen. I work for others. And that's my job. After 8 years, I was teaching who was working above me. And I look at that, for fuck's sake. You know, and then that's the moment I got my first job as a head chef. But my point here is, I want to know everything. I'm a control freak. I had to control myself to not be a control freak in the sense of let go, because you can't do that. Those days they pay me for this, for my brain, not for my hands anymore. And that's what is the next level. And that's where you're going now. Like, I don't want to, you know yourself, like in 10, 15 years time, and then like your hands will start to get tired.
I am tired already.
Yeah. and then come to the part like, what kind of chef you are? I'm the chef just have one knife. You know, like it's one trade, one thing. Like majority of the pizza chefs I know, they just don't know how to do one thing, pizzas. But what they do is amazing.
Let's make a channel, One Chef Knife.
Oh yes.
A one knife chef.
Yes. And like, I don't see that any problem for anyone.
Yeah.
If you do just one thing, but you do very good, and then like you become your master from that. And like, if you become a master, I don't care what you do. You're a master on that. It's like a sommelier for beer. You're a master in beer. You're a master in beer. I'm not.
It's like the chefs on Japan, no?
Oh
They
yeah.
become a sushi master. I don't know how long they take.
You
30
need to
years to
you
learn
need
how
to be at least 10 years
Yes,
making
take it on,
rice.
yeah.
Rice. Because rice is the base of the sushi.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the rice, the secret in rice, for you know sushi, of course. You know what's the secret in the rice for the sushi? It's not the cooking.
It's the cooling.
It's the cooling with your acid, and then
Oh,
that's
yeah.
when you make
they
your
do
mix.
the vinegar and
Yeah, when
what's
you
it called when the mix of vinegar sugar
is
and
the mirin with sugar
oh,
and
that's called. You remember? I don't remember.
oh Jesus, now my brain. I probably
I did the sushi rice
Yeah.
like maybe 4 times in my life. You know.
oh
but
like I
no, always like paying attention. On how to cook,
yeah
you know,
the
that's
way you
nice.
make your the cooking. You finish your rice, the thickness and the cooking, the precision on that's the secret in your sushi. The fish is the quality after that. Is the difference like a good wine and a shitty wine, or a good vodka and a shitty vodka. I'll tell you what's the difference. Is the hangover you get.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same with the fish. You get a really good quality of fish in your sushi or your sashimi or your nigiri, and not sashimi would be just your fish, but your sushi or your nigiri is the rice. They need to complement each other, and it's the balance, the acidity you want to get in your stomach, and that's it. That's it, and I think that's the thing. You need to you start to work on that. Like one chef knife. That's a good idea.
It's nice, man.
And like now, for you, what's next in the next couple of months? What's coming new?
I'm just bringing more recipes. That's what I'm doing. Like bringing videos like on the internet. That's what I'm doing.
You're doing like in seasons or just putting out there?
No, I have this ebook, so we have like 50 recipes, like more than 50 there. So I'm gonna make all of them in videos and put on YouTube. So I have like at least 1 year ahead, like with content. And after that, my idea is to bring more Brazilian recipes and show people like more like what we have in there, and you actually like actually the real food that we cook there, the day by day food.
Yeah.
And then which I think is nice, but it's just an idea. Let's see what's gonna happen. You never know.
Yeah,
1 year from now,
No, but like you always work ahead.
Yeah.
Like you always think ahead.
Oh,
That's something very good, and like I believe like soon enough you're gonna have something really exciting coming.
Like I always have like this. I think I learned it from my mom. I think when she was like 15 years old, she was already thinking how she's gonna retire. Like she's
Whoa, that's very good.
Yeah, because we as a human, like most of us, we don't think we don't realize we're gonna get old. If the natural thing in life,
we get old.
Yeah. Like we don't stop and think, okay, well, if everything goes well in our life, and I don't know, we don't die with 17 years old, I don't know, in a car accident, if something happens, you never know. But if everything goes naturally, and then you're probably gonna be living into your 70s, 80s, nowadays.
Those days, I would say even longer.
Even longer. So
my grandpa passed when he was 102.
So
that was a couple of years ago. Yeah.
So I always think, okay, 5 years from now, okay, where do I want to be? And then after the pandemic as well, like I was like listening. I was listening to many books, and then I don't remember which one it was, but it was like the guy was saying, if you're planning to do something in, I think it's 4 times of work, 4 hours of work from Tim Ferriss. What's the name of the book?
Tim Ferriss.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
That was like, okay, if you're planning to do something in 2 years, right? And you have this plan in your head. If somebody put a gun on your head, can you do it in 2 months?
Oh fuck yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So after I understood this, some of my goals, instead of looking after 10 years, 5 years, I started putting 6 months, 3 months.
Wow.
It's gonna be possible. I don't know, but I need to work for that.
Yeah.
If I don't complete in 6 months, okay, I give another 6.
Yeah.
And then I felt that way you don't, because if you put 5 years, it's like, I see now I'm here like in Ireland for 5 years, and so many things change in my life.
Oh yes.
So many things, and my head changed so much than like 5 years ago. Like I'll never like be thinking that I'm gonna be here, like let's say talking with you and.
Oh no, that's great.
So if you say to me like, okay, 5 years from now, I'll say I don't know. 1 year I can tell you. 2 years maybe. After that I lose, like, because I'm changing completely. Yeah. I'm always trying to progress, and I see how my mind is changing and thinking differently. I'm always like you. Always want to learn something new. Always,
Like I always have a master plan. Like as I said.
Retire early as possible.
Oh no, that I already give up about retiring early. The retiring, what's that? That's for rich people, yeah. It's more or less like how to become a millionaire.
Yeah.
First, you become a billionaire, and you open a rocket company, and then you lose everything, and you become a millionaire.
That's it. That's the goal.
So that like I already forgot. I don't want to. I don't think about retirement or anything. I think I will be working for the rest of my life. The way my brain works, I'm always thinking. I'm a thinker.
No, I don't want to stop working. That's the thing.
Yeah. But is work in a different way. Like now what I see is I met so many people, like interest people like you and the other guests coming over to the channel. For me was that, like Foodcast is all about this. Is to bring people together, to show them and become like a kind of network for everyone. Like I have a guy who would be very good to work with you, or like somebody you need to meet. Oh, let's meet Jeremy. Oh, let's go to that restaurant. Let's eat this. And it's become like more a community. That's what Foodcast is about. And I want to be in the center of that because I know the people. And then I just want to get people together and say, look, that's what we're doing. We're struggling. Like just before we record and saying, I thought it was just in my restaurant I'm having these problems. And I said, look, we have that problem. We are all the same. Yeah. Normally we see those people in the social media and they said, wow.
Yeah.
Like, they have a so good life because they put the good stuff. I don't put the good stuff. Like in my vlog, I start to put there, and like if one of those days, probably they will be looking at Instagram and I will say, I'm having a terrible day. Like it's happening these days. I have anxiety as well. I have my fears.
It's natural, yeah.
Yeah, but like people don't put it out there.
But that's good, You show people like sometimes they don't understand. Like you have, they only see all the, like you said, the beautiful things. It's he's living a lovely life. No, he's only flowers and money. No, it's not like that. No, you can have both. You have both always.
I see my friends in Brazil, and they come to me and say, "Oh, you live in Europe. You have a title." Like I said, I'm a cook.
Yeah, well,
I'm a cook.
Yeah.
Like you are.
Yeah.
But today I hold a title, would say a culinary operation lead or executive chef. Tomorrow I could be holding a title as a sous chef or a CDP or whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm holding a title. So I heard a quote a time ago. The guy said he was the secretary of whatever in US, and he went to do a speech. In the year he went there to do the speech, he flew in the first class. He had a person to pick him up in the airport. He went to a 5-star hotel. They brought him over, and they served him like the coffee in a beautiful ceramic cup. And then the following year he went to the same place to do the same speech, kinda. And then when he got there, he flew in coach. He arrived in the airport. He had to get a taxi to his hotel. He got a taxi to go to the venue. And when he got there, he asked for a coffee, and they just pointed to a Feco machine and said, look, get your coffee there. And he got his coffee in a paper cup. So when he went to start his speech, and he said, last year, that's what happened to me. This year, I'm drinking from that paper cup. Don't believe you are made for the ceramic cup. That's for the position you hold. So you're going to have those perks from the position you hold. It's not because of who you are. So remember, you are the paper cup. We are the paper cup always. So depending the position you hold today, you're gonna hold the ceramic cup. So it's all about the perspective you use. And then when I heard that, I said, yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the way we need to think about it. And that's something I think about, like us as a culinary world here in Ireland. That's something we don't have much. In Brazil we have a lot, you know, a community of chefs, and that's what we are here about, is to create a community and say, look, here's the network, let's talk to each other. We have the chef's talk here in Ireland, but like yeah, sorry, just got a technical problem with the camera. Sorry.
Yeah.
So after the chef's talk, was great. Like they have that mentality, but like what we want to do is something more like one-to-one. You know, not one-to-one, but create a community around. You know, like Foodcast being the sport for the chefs to meet people and being the you know, like the
link between
the link.
But it's nice,
Yes.
like something more like, let's say, relaxed, and then you can just connect and
Yes.
yeah.
And like to meet people is
I think
great.
We need something like that.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And like now, what would be next for you? Like, what are you expecting next? Now you're gonna plan another book. You're already coming with something new for us.
Never know. Next year, another book. No, yeah, it's gonna happen. You know, it's gonna happen. It's natural, but I don't know. The videos are coming for sure. For the ebook. Yeah. I'm gonna record one for like each recipe.
So you have already, like, for the next, until the end of the year, you have loads of videos.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
So, yeah.
No.
So, yeah. Just go there, subscribe, watch the videos, and we're gonna have loads of content. Yeah.
So I'm gonna have all the links here below to, of course, to follow you on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. There's any other social media, your website.
Yeah, no, that's all. That's all of them.
Yeah. Buy the book, because I just had a quick glimpse. It's really nice recipes, nice and tasty. Even if you're not vegan, try the food. It's really nice. I recommend.
It's a good starter.
Yes.
Perfect.
It's not become a vegan. I think it's that. It's not make people to become vegans, but have other choices. You know, like if you get a nice veg lasagna, it's vegetarian. You know, like just try something new.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chef Anxieta, thank you very much.
Thank you.
To listen to Foodcast, and well, see you in the next episode.